Everyone, welcome to this live session of Unacademy CAT. My name is Ronak Shah, and today we have with us Mr. Manan Charaya. So he got 95 percentile in CAT, and in fact, there is a story behind that, and he got some really good B school calls. So yes, please join me to welcome him. Hi Manan, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
You seem to be happy man.
Yeah, true.
Right.
A man who is dreaming, sure he should be happy about it.
Yes. So we have so many viewers. So let me quickly see who all are present before we go ahead. Yes. Hi, Lokesh, Amit, Keshav, Karthik. Hi, Anuj, Shivam, Satyendra, and everyone else. Once again, a very good evening to all of you, and welcome to this session. As you know that on Unacademy platform, we keep bringing such sessions where we make sure that you get sufficient motivation dose so you can join me most of the many days in a month at 11 p.m. for such strategic session. Now before we go ahead, let me quickly tell to all my viewers that I've recently started a new batch for complete quant and complete LRDI preparation with the name Lakshya batch. Have you all heard of Lakshya batch? Quickly show me a thumbs up, guys, in the chat box if you are aware about what is Lakshya batch. So it has been just started from today on YouTube. The timings will be 6 p.m. where I'll be teaching you complete quant for CAT 2021 and IPMAT as well. And even if you are a 2022 aspirant, definitely it would be helpful. And in the Lakshya batch of Quant, we will be completing the syllabus in about 2 months. So please join me every day at 6 p.m. And apart from that, I'm also starting another Lakshya batch on Unacademy Learning app. Once again, this is going to be completely free for everyone, where I'll be covering complete LRDI. Right. So in case if you haven't downloaded Unacademy Learning app, please do it quickly and unlock it using my code CHAR10. You can also join me for Unacademy Plus using once again the same code CHAR10 so that you can get much more support and much better preparation. Right. So hi Manan, let's go ahead and our viewers are quite eager that how did you make it to IIM with 65% in 12th? And that too with non-engineering background. So I'm sure you must have faced difficulties in quant as well, right?
Yeah, there were quite difficulties in the quant section, but helpfully Unacademy was with me for the same.
Right. Okay. So Manan, why don't you just quickly tell our viewers about your background? I mean, what are you doing currently and all those things?
Yeah, sure. So currently I'm pursuing BA Economic Honors from Punjab University, and I'm in final years, and I'm quite to around scoring 72% marks itself if everything goes well. And my 12th, as told by sir, I have 65%, which is quite on the lower side. In my 10th, I have 10 CGPA, so that's the pace I am having up on one side and the low on one side.
And which city are you from?
I'm from Chandigarh itself, so the city beautiful.
Okay, fine. So Manan, before we come to your number of calls and all those things, can you quickly tell our viewer that when did you start your CAT 2020 preparation? What exams did you take? But before that, when did you start your preparation? From which month? And how was your preparation journey?
So I started my preparation close to around November 2019. And at my initial stage, I was not that serious about the preparation itself. The time when I became serious, it was around March, and it has an amazing story behind it of how I became serious about my preparation.
What was that?
So at this particular time, I was having quite difficulties in vocab, because according to my mindset, I was having that vocab is all about cramming up words, and that I was doing. There used to be daily tests on the same, and I used to have quite an horrible score in the same. Okay. So a time came when I broke down and I said that this thing is not possible by me, and even I tore down the book. Okay. So the mentor which was teaching me and taking the daily test took the book and said, "Why have you tore it down?" I said that this thing is not possible by me. So he said that this is a dream taken by you, and this is a dream even failed by you. Not the universe, not the God, but only by you. There are still 8 months, because it was close to around March this incident happened. So he said there are still 8 months and you can do quite a lot. And that was the day when I understood that vocabulary is never about cramming, it's about understanding the words. And from that day onwards, I even got perfect scores in the test.
That's amazing. So Manan, you want to say that even English was a bit challenging area for you, is it?
Yeah, at that particular time, English RCs were something which I understood, but vocabulary was something I was weak at.
Okay, fine. Okay, guys, let me quickly just check. Are you all able to hear us? Quickly show me a thumbs up, because some learners are saying कि net बहुत slow है इस time. Just wait. So are you all able to hear us clearly, everyone? If you can just show us a thumbs up. Right, great. And just one request, guys, so I'm sure you will find this session fruitful. His experience and incidences would not only motivate you but help you in your preparation. So make sure that all of you have pressed the like button and not forget to share it with all your friends. Okay, before we go ahead, guys, just a small message that on Unacademy we conduct weekly combat. It's a free contest. All of you can participate. Please explore the description for the same. Apart from that, my plus batches are also starting up from 6 June. My LRDI batch is starting. So on plus you get many more benefits like test series and all. So you can keep attending the Lakshya batch that I've started, and along with that, for test series and for GDPI prep, regular doubt solving and all, you can definitely go for Unacademy Plus subscription, because even Manan was our plus student. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So Manan, yes, tell us more about that. So when you started preparing for CAT, I mean, say if we start talking from month of March, so how did you tackle quants?
Yeah, in quants, I was quite weak. At some topics, I was good, and at some topics, I was weak. So my strategy for the same was, I used to take an assignment, start with solving the 5 questions of the LOD level, the level of difficulty 1.
Okay.
If those 5 questions seem to be very easy, I switched to the LOD 2. And if in that even I got 5 questions correct and that seemed even easier, I switched to LOD 3. But in LOD 3, even if I thought that these questions are easy, I solved each and every one of them, because there is not a higher level of them. No? So I thought that this is the practice which might make me successful in the journey.
Right. So were you solving LOD 1, 2 and 3 from day 1, or you first solved easier question in the first round of preparation and then started solving more tougher question? How was your strategy?
Yeah, so actually, as I told, I started from November. So at that particular time till March, I was solving only the basic questions, though not at that good pace, obviously, as that was not my serious preparation. But in March, I came to know that I have understood the topics. So I used to skip LOD 1 after doing 5 or so questions if I found them easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So once you completed all the topics like numbers, arithmetic, algebra, once you have completed the basics of everyone, then you started taking those topics once again and solving slightly more challenging questions. Is it? Okay.
Yes.
And when did you start writing mock test and all?
It was even close to around March when my serious preparation started. I still remember it was around March 20th I gave my first mock.
Okay.
And I scored close to around 72 percentile, which is a very less percentile in CAT. So I even became disheartened at that particular time, because I was giving it in for 5 to 10 days only. But yeah, I was giving it in. And still a low score came out. But even eventually the scores came up and things got better.
Okay, Manan, can you tell all our viewers what other habits did you cultivate along with preparing for CAT? Were you doing anything other than preparing for CAT, like pursuing your hobbies, or did you go for any certification or something? What was
so there were various things going, and first of all, the college itself. I was pursuing my BA Economic Honors at that particular time too. And the second thing, which was, I had my own guitar academy running up. Though I lessened the pace of me teaching and I hired someone else for the same purpose. But even I used to take 2 to 3 batches at that particular time, which I stopped at around, I would say, May or August. I stopped that around that. This is the time I cannot take more batches and I should put on to serious prep. Okay. So at that particular time, I stopped my guitar classes, but yeah, still the business is running on.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. Yeah. So along with preparing for CAT, you were also running this guitar academy. So is it out of hobby or just to make up for the expenses and all?
Yeah, not for the expenses purposes, because I realized because I realized that I am good at management and I am good at music. So I combined both of my passions, that is management and music, and opened up this guitar academy. Okay. So that was something which helped me to even learn management, even learn music more, because as you explore into the field, you get to know more about it.
Right. So Manan, before we go ahead, there are a few queries that are coming up. Okay guys, let me quickly read यस अमन उपाध्याय, ये मेरा घर है बट बैकग्राउंड वर्चुअल है। ठीक है, ये मैं बता देता हूँ। समवन इज आस्किंग सर ये आपका घर है कि महल है? ओके, एनीवेज, बट द घर इज इक्वली ब्यूटीफुल. Aman Upadhyay is asking, sir, if you don't mind, can you please tell us your Instagram ID? If we ever some doubt in future, we'll speak to you directly. So Aman, do you want whose Instagram ID do you want? Do you want my Instagram ID or Manan's Instagram ID? So please clarify that. Okay, Venkat Ramana Reddy is saying, sir, educators you follow in Plus or VRC. No, so that is something that we can't mention. It will be disrespect to some other educators, because almost every educator has produced call getters. So we normally don't mention the names because that leads to comparison. Okay, so Rishabh is asking one question, sir. I am 26 years old and I have 19 months experience, 90.54 percentile. Okay, I have converted KJ Somaya core, but I want to attempt next year's CAT. Will my age affect me during full-time MBA placements? Rishabh, my recommendation to you is 26 years, nothing like you are crossing some age, but you have already scored well. Now definitely you can try for better B schools, but looking at your scenario, it's better if you move on, because after COVID, within 2 years the economy will be on the boom. So you would like to come out, you would like to pass out from a B school when economy is on the positive tide. So please think about that, Rishabh, rather than waiting for one more year. Okay, how to manage college with CAT studies? Very common question, Manan. You can help, because when you were preparing for CAT, you were also running your guitar academy. So how did you manage this multiple thing? Any schedule that you prepared for yourself that you would like to share with our learners?
Yeah, so first thing, I made a schedule for myself, and the second thing was my tutors was so much helpful. The college tutors, they were so much helpful. I told them that I am preparing for CAT and I might not attend some lectures. So they said, okay, that's not an issue. In a week, even if you can attend 3 to 4 lectures, that would be fine with us.
Oh, Manan, this will be an exception, because I'm sure many many of the students have that kind of college and tutor where the policies are so strict that they make sure that student doesn't appear for CAT till he passes out from that college. I'm sure many agree with this, right? Guys, quickly show me a thumbs up if you are experiencing that scenario, what I'm talking about, or you also have the scenario in the college what Manan mentioned, slightly lenient and all. Right. Okay, Manan. So, but still, you had to appear for exam, you had to prepare your subjects and also. How did you manage?
So I made schedule for that particular thing. At the time of studying about CAT, I didn't study about the college, and at the time of studying for college or having my guitar academy, CAT was not the thing at that particular time. Everything I did that only, and didn't mix that up. Because for me that created a ruckus in my mind. If I am preparing for CAT, I am preparing for CAT at that particular time slot. If I am going to college, if I am attending the college classes, I am doing at that particular time slot. So I didn't mix that things up, and that probably seemed helpful to me, because creating a request, obviously if you're running a class and you are also doing CAT at that particular time, you wouldn't be able to understand both of them. So I took one thing at one time. So yeah,
right. So you mean to say that focusing on one thing at a time, for example, so when you were doing one thing at a time, so it's like morning college, afternoon guitar academy, evening CAT. Was it something like this, or 3 days in a week CAT and 3 days in a week college and the other stuff? How was that?
Yeah, so actually, as I told you that I used to attend some less lectures, so that particular days used to be meant only for CAT. But on that days when I was having college, morning was the college, afternoon was the guitar classes which I used to give, and in the evening till the night, I probably slept at around 4 or 5 p.m. even at days. So that was a time when I used to sleep. So that all time went to CAT preparation. And at 9 a.m. I woke up because of the college thing. So I managed to have a sleep of around 4 to 5 hours at that particular time.
Right. So you need to burn midnight oil, guys, if you want to manage both the things. Right. Okay. So Manan, let's talk about the other things, like how you converted the call, how many calls did you get and all. But before that, there are so many queries that are coming up. So let me quickly take up these queries. So Amrit is saying, I have profiled similar lines like 85% in 10th, 63 in CAT, engineering with 70%, 1 year left. So what percentile will, grade to have calls from top B school? So once again, guys, top B school, when I mean, as a mentor and as a trainer, if I suggest, you can always target top 30, top 40 colleges. There is no compulsion of targeting top 10 unless you have that kind of background and profile and everything in place, right? So yes, anything close to 95 percentile will definitely get you really good calls. You really don't need to aim for 99 if that's not possible. See, of course we should always set our targets high, but then there is a difference between setting high target and setting unrealistic target. You know, you don't want to pressurize yourself constantly. You don't want to drag yourself for something that is not possible at that point of time, right? So please set right targets. That would be really helpful. Okay, Nimisha is saying, sir, how many hours did you spend per day for CAT preparation? Nimisha, as he just mentioned, is to spend good number of hours. I'm assuming that he must be spending 6 to 7 hours a day, right, Manan?
Yes.
Easily 6 to 7 or maybe more, right? Because he used to solve many questions. That's why. सर इंग्लिश सही करनी पड़ेगी. ओके, करो इंग्लिश अच्छी करो, फायदा ही होगा. Yadu is saying something, but yes, Ansh has something. Sir, I have given 2-3 mocks and still my percentile is approximately 70 percentile. So how can I improve my score? So yeah, Manan, can we just talk about this percentile improvement before we talk about the calls and the conversion and the interview part? Okay, so how did you improve your percentile from 70 to 95? Was it like you stopped giving mock and suddenly you started writing mock and the percentile were in 90s, or it happened gradually 70, 75, 80, 85, 90? What was the journey over there?
So yeah, so the thing is, the thing didn't happen. It was like gradual. It was at a slow pace, even I would say. Like I know that thing that if I even scored +5 marks in every mock, I would get, if the first mock, as I told you, it was close to around 72 percentile, which I got. If I, in the next mock, if I scored +5, I would get to around 75 percentile. And considering that there is a huge competition on the portal itself. Correct. So even if I scored +5, so my target was in the first mock, I said if every mock I increase by 5 marks, I would be able to get 2 questions correct. That means 2 good questions correct, or 6 questions not doing wrongly. Correct. Anything you can say.
What was your accuracy when you started taking mocks, and till what accuracy you reached finally when you appeared for CAT?
Yeah, so my accuracy was close to around, I would say, 92% was my accuracy at that particular time. But at the time of starting, my accuracy used to be around 50%, which is very less.
Right. So guys, see, when you actually improve your accuracy, automatically your score goes up, because you can't suddenly change the number of attempts. If you're attempting 35 questions, you can't directly attempt 40-45 questions in the next mock. But what you can do is you can just make sure that you can improve on the question selection. You can commit lesser errors, lesser mistakes. Automatically your score would go up, and this is what you should target, right, Manan? When you take more mocks. Okay, fine. So Manan, now let's talk about the calls. You have 12 IIM calls, correct?
Yeah, to be truthful, they were even 15, but yeah, 3 IIM got me rejected at the first round itself. The Kozhikode, the Nagpur and Visakhapatnam, they were just the first round calls. So that truly would not be considered as true calls.
Right. So yeah, truthful, at the ground level, you had 12 calls, right?
Yeah, now, true.
You have simple profile, right? Of course, you have some extracurricular achievements which could have helped you, I'm sure, during your interview. But what do you think, what worked for you to get the calls?
So what I think, like, the scenario which worked for me was probably they saw that I was working hard to get something good. Like if you check the last 4 semester marks on my BA Economic Honors mark sheet, they all are above 80%, and in my first semester I got close to around 60%. So they knew that this person is trying to improve his things, and they probably gave me an opportunity to do so, and I'm really thankful for that.
Okay, so you think that the positive trajectory could have helped? Okay, guys, there are many things. For example, if you look at, he has 10 CGPA, that is like 95% in 10th. Now, first of all, of course, that's good. Second, he has good CAT score. Okay, otherwise he's fresher. He has probably that background diversity factor because he's BA Economics. So definitely BA Economics has that background diversity advantage, right? So definitely these few things would have worked for you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now when you went for the interview, you said that you were rejected in 7 IIMs, correct?
Yeah.
So what was the reason for rejection, and in the IIMs that you were selected, what worked? Can you just tell our viewers what they should work on?
So there could be various reasons for rejection. Like I still remember the CAP interview. I was quite feared at that particular time. So at some interviews, I was very confident, and in the interview where I was very confident, these all converted.
Okay.
And the interviews where I was a bit nervous, like IIM Shillong was one of the best calls which I had, and at that particular, obviously anyone would be very feared that this is one of the best calls, and I really do want to convert it. And only 15 minutes are deciding what you are having in future.
Okay.
So I was quite feared at that particular time, and I was unable to convert IIM Shillong. But at the time of IIM Rohtak interview, I was very confident, I would say. Because I know that IIM Shillong, I have IIM Shillong. At that particular time, IIM Shillong interview didn't occur, and I thought that I had IIM Shillong on my hand. This is the second best call. So it's an easy target for you. So you are a bit confident in that, and probably that helped me convert IIM Rohtak itself.
Okay, Ashish Kumar is asking one question. He is asking one question to you. What is composite score and how it is calculated? And please explain my profile also. So which composite score are you asking about, Ashish Kumar?
So probably he's asking about the profile score, which is based, like it consists of 10th marks, 12th marks, graduation, work and a CAT percentile itself. So that is according to different colleges, different criteria they have. Different IIMs have different criteria for that. In some IIMs, there is gender diversity has huge points, and some it is very low. And some work ex have very good marks, and some they are very low. So you need to check according to that. You need to go to their website, and you will find that very easily.
Okay. Sir, how many hours you had given, and how many days you completed CAT syllabus? So yes, once again, almost similar question is coming up. They want to know when did you complete your CAT syllabus, and then when did you start writing, just mocks and all.
Yeah. So talking about completing the whole syllabus, it occurred close to around October, I would say. September, September it occurred. Mid-September, I completed the whole syllabus, and it was a wrap up for me. After that I gave close to around 70 mocks.
70 mocks.
Yeah, 70 mocks.
That's a crazy number. I've heard of 50, which also I feel is on higher side. You have written 70 mocks. Guys, please note down this number. Okay, matlab when you write this many mocks, you're bound to get the results, of course. So when you used to write the mocks, how much time do you used to spend in analyzing the mock?
Yeah, so analysis is a great part of giving a mock. So I used to give one mock on a day, and the next day, a whole day went to its analysis. And even in analysis, there is, I don't know which portal the people would be giving their mocks, but there's a thing that you can hide the answer. So I used to hide answer. Every question which I got wrong, I used to try to do it. Even if it took me 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I would used to try it, and then I would see the solution. The solution is a thing which is at a very less pace than mine. If it is getting solved within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and I used to solve it in 5 minutes, so I used to follow that solution. But sometimes you make a solution which is solvable within 2 to 3 minutes for you, whereas the solution given is solvable between 5 to 10 minutes.
So you feel good about that?
Yeah, so I preferred my solution at that particular time.
Correct. That's a correct strategy. Okay, so we have a candidate, Mon 93. Sir, I have 5 years of experience in banking, age 28, female, ST category. Okay, can I switch to consultancy if I get top IIM? Will it hamper my future placements? No, absolutely not, Mon. You can definitely go for consultancy. Guys, those who are planning to or aspiring to pursue the career in consultancy. Now, please understand what does it mean by consulting profile. So consulting profile means you have some expertise, you understand the best practices of particular industry, and you are suggesting the client about those practices, right? So Mon, since you have 5 years of experience in banking with right blend of management knowledge, if you do it from one of the good college, which definitely you can do it because age will never be a challenge for you. You are from ST category, so there is definitely some relaxation for them as well. So
Yeah.
you can definitely try to do your management program from one of the top B school government colleges where the fees will also be less. You really should not be targeting any private colleges, and you can go for the profile that you want. Let me tell you, when you will be doing your MBA in the second year of MBA, you will not be asking this question to us, because MBA provides you that environment. You interact with the professors, you interact with your seniors and all. You yourself will be able to figure out whether consulting is right for you and what career path do you want to choose. Okay, so
Yeah.
don't worry much about what career you will have. You will figure out that thing. That environment is so good that you will figure out, especially if you are in a top B school. Okay, so I hope that has been summarized. How many PCB background can affect my MBA career? How my PCB background can affect my MBA career? How this will affect interview and selection part? Kanchi, PCB, engineering, science, commerce, it doesn't affect your selection chances. Of course, engineers are less preferred in IIMs because there are so many engineers in IIM. I don't agree with that though. Okay, but otherwise, if you are from PCB and if you have taken say commerce afterwards, probably you may be asked this question कि आपने 12th में science choose किया, फिर commerce लिया, अभी आप management में जा रहे हो, तो क्या reason था? And you will have to be honest there. You can always mention कि sir, in my 10th or 11th I was probably not that thoughtful enough before making the decision, but I realized my mistake, and I realized that my interests are more in management and commerce side rather than in science and engineering technology. So that's why I changed my field. Be honest, and that will be accepted, guys. Don't think much about that. Don't think as if you have committed some crime, guys. Okay, Keshav is asking, so please give some tips for VARC. I'm really lacking in that. Okay, so Keshav is asking for VARC tips. Manan, if you are to give VARC tips to someone who is weak at that, what 5 things or 3 things that you will suggest them?
Yeah, so first thing would be practicing. So I used to give one RC test daily itself. RC was one thing must. And as I told you, vocabulary test was also a daily test for me.
But
So
Manan,
these
vocabulary, do you think vocabulary now, if you look at things in hindsight, do you think vocabulary really affects so much in CAT?
to be very truthful, it doesn't that much affects, but yeah, it is very important. If you don't understand what the RC is seeking, either you understand the contextual meaning of the RC, or you are unable to understand the vocabulary. So if the things occur that you are unable to understand the contextual meaning and you get the vocabulary thing, so that becomes easy to understand the contextual meaning and you can solve RC easily.
Achha.
So at times it does, and at times it doesn't. But yeah, vocabulary is something one should practice. If not at this particular time, it helps you in interviews. For me, it worked in a few interviews. So
how did it help you?
Like the using various phrases and using good terms leads the interviewer having a good impression about you, that the person knows something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So yes, practicing is the key for success in VARC, right? In nutshell, if you want to put it, I mean, every day if they are, Manan, were you reading newspaper and all on regular basis, or some novels or something?
To be very truthful, I used to watch the Hindu analysis. I used to read Hindu at times on weekends, I would say, but not daily. Daily, I used to watch the 30-minute or 40-minute video which used to came about the Hindu analysis. Okay. You can watch it on any platform. It is available on Unacademy also.
Right.
So many people are making it up. So you can watch it anywhere. That is quite helpful for me because not only you get to know what the news is, but you also get to know what is inside the news. Because the person tells you both the criteria. This is the positive and this is the negative. Correct. So that helps you quite a lot. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Great. So now we have few more queries. Roshan Yadav, I have 64% in 10, 66 in 12th and 55 in graduation. Any suggestion or I'll get rejected? Roshan, the only way you can get into a decent B school, if not the top cream B school, is by scoring well in CAT. Okay. So let me tell you, I mean, guys, there are some B schools, in general, if I put it this way, say you take a B school which normally gives calls at 90 percentile. Okay. So there is a candidate A who has scored 90 percentile in CAT with around 70, 80s in 10, 12 graduation and all. There is another candidate B who has scored 96 percentile in CAT, but with poor academics. So definitely this poor academics will be compensated by that particular higher percentile in CAT. If they do not have, that particular B school doesn't have a strict criteria about 10th and 12th. If they are giving 5% weightage to say 10th and 12th score, but on the other end they are giving 40% weightage to CAT score, so definitely your CAT score is higher, so you will earn more points over there. So please try to compensate your poor academics with just good percentile in CAT, because you can't change your 10th and 12th now. But that doesn't mean you should stop your dream. Yes, Manan, what's your thoughts?
I would like to mention is interviews also, which is the thing which makes all the difference. Like,
Okay.
I have peers who have good academics, good CAT score, and give the same interviews like me, which interviews I was giving, and they got rejected by the same B school which I got accepted to. So that was something which I was shocked about, because obviously they had a better profile, so first they should be selected. Now, anyone would think that he has a better profile, he should be selected. But the thing which makes the difference is how you give the interview, how well confident you are. Even missing few questions doesn't make that difference. Like, I missed a few questions in my interviews, but that didn't make the difference. I was very confident.
Okay, Manan, why don't you share a couple of interesting interview questions that were asked to you, where you failed or you gave a very witty answer? Just share some situation so that students can start thinking in that direction actually.
Yeah, so one of the interviews was of IIM Rohtak itself.
Okay.
If you do remember, I shared the experience with you too. That it was asked that give the cricketer name from Haryana, and at that particular time I recently shifted to Haryana. I didn't know. Even I was shocked forward, because in my profile there is nowhere I mentioned sports or cricket, something like that. I'm not really good at it. So he asked, give me the name of one sports person, one cricketer from Haryana. I was very shocked about that. How can one person know about it? And obviously there are many players like legendary Kapil Dev himself.
The Haryana Hurricane. Right.
Yeah. Even at a later stage, when I researched, like at that particular time, I told him that, as you can see, my profile is nowhere I have mentioned about sports, and I'm not really good at that. Can we switch to any other topic? And he was like, okay, why not, sure. And we talked about something other than that.
And what was the outcome?
Yeah. And outcome was I got selected to IIM Rohtak. Yeah.
Great. So yeah. And what was some other incidents where you felt that okay, you had performed well, or you were tricked by the interviewer, something like that?
Yeah. Sometimes I even tried to perform a bit witty, like in Amsterdam, but obviously I got rejected for the same. But I played a bit witty over there.
Okay.
So the first question was like, the person you started praising me. So Manan, you have this in your profile, you have this in profile. Probably he was trying to give me a pump up. And then he said, okay, Manan, what are you doing, and things like that. Then he said, I have never been interested in economics. Why don't you tell me how this journey started? What made you interested in economics? What is so good about the subject? I told that it's the practical usability of the subject which I am having. Like, you can use it in various instances, be it your normal life, and I am able to understand various news. Like at that particular time, monetary policy and budget came out. So I said that I was better able to understand the budget. I was better able to understand the monetary policy, because I analyzed them very well. Because that's the question everyone asked. And then he said, okay, let us hear your analysis about the budget. So I tricked him to ask him about the budget. So that was the point where I felt I played tricky. But yeah, I was unable to convert. So probably he found out that the person is playing a bit witty with me.
Okay, so we have one candidate, Atul Raj, who is asking one question. I'm sorry, Atul, and there are many other viewers, guys. The chat is flying so fast, so you can understand it's slightly difficult, but I'm trying to track as many questions as possible, and we are trying to address it. So Atul is asking, I have just 47% in science background, class 12. Please reply, what are my chances? With 47%, Atul, definitely it's going to affect. Guys, I just want to mention one thing over here. This is purely based on my observation and experiences, and this is the exact reason why IIMs, especially the top IIMs, give lots of weightage to 10th and 12th. You know, IIM had mentioned a long back. One of the IIM director had mentioned this thing when he was asked, why do you give so much weightage to 10th and 12th? And he mentioned that our past record shows that those who have better 10th and 12th performance are better performer in life. I'm not saying the others who do not have are completely failure, but the chances of successful person being successful is directly proportional to the scores in 10th and 12th. So yes, that's one thing. So similarly, I have also observed this thing that those who have very weak 10th and 12th, they normally do not have that hardworking tendency. Particularly in studies, you might be very good at sports, but when it comes to studies, you can't sit for 2-3 hours even, right? So with that kind of behavior, how are you going to score 90-95 percentile in CAT? That's the first question you should be asking, because it's very easy for us to say कि okay, I'm ready to study for 8 hours, but historically कभी आप 2 घंटे भी बैठ के पढ़े नहीं हो तो 8 घंटे कैसे पढ़ने वाले? तो guys, please be realistic about that. And yes, 10 12th are poor, you will have to compromise with some colleges unless you have some background category or something, right? But that doesn't mean you drop your dream of pursuing. You can still try your level best to score well in CAT, and if not A grade college, you can try for B plus colleges. Even if you're getting over there, you will get at least a decent job after that, right? Because if you don't do anything, then you will end up taking up a 10-12,000 job, right? So think from that perspective. Okay, Dia Day has one query. Sir, I am a chronically ill patient being in coma and artificial life support, and I take 4 injections every day. Because of this, I couldn't work after my graduation. Would this be a hurdle? Diya, no, definitely a medical condition, whatever happens to you, whatever gap comes because of the medical condition, that is always considered and empathized. So I really don't think that you need to be worried about that. You can just mention that, okay, sir, I have this problem, but at the same time, I have these dreams. Now it's up to you whether you allow me to pursue my dream or reject me straight away. So emotionally, थोड़ा सा खेलो यार, ठीक है?
I would like to say something.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So there's one friend of mine. So he has very poor grades, and like the last 2 years he has been doing the graduation and like completed his graduation, and he has got quite to a 98 point something percentile in his CAT. So he when the interviewer asked him that why are there so many less grades on your profile, he said, if you want to see, I have 10 years of mediocrity. But I have 5 years of excellence. And if you want to hear about that years of excellence or that years of mediocrity? Obviously, the interviewer told him that why not talk about excellence itself.
Wow, so that's wonderful answer.
That was a wonderful answer by him, and even I was impressed by it.
Correct, absolutely. So guys, here is another amazing way. Okay, I have 10 years of mediocrity, but I have 5 years of excellence. So let's talk about excellence. Awesome, fine. So absolutely, it can change the perspective, right? And there are so many other questions coming up. Sir, I have 8 CGPA. Divyang Saurabh is writing, sir, I have 8.8 CGPA in 10th, 91 in 12th. What are my chances of getting into top B school? Of course, you have fair chances, Divyang.
Yeah.
Anyone who has above 18, 10th and 12th, guys, no one stops you. Now you will have to check that college criteria, because if you look at IIM Ahmedabad and some other IIMs, they have this particular factor of background diversity and many other things, right? So because of the educational background, many students get rejected. I know one of the student, 99.85 percentile, we had done his session also, so he didn't get any call except IIM Calcutta. ठीक है, उसको IIM लखनऊ इंदौर कोई कॉल नहीं आया था, 99.9 परसेंटाइल. उसके सिर्फ 12th में कुछ 75 या ऐसे कुछ थे, बाकी 10th वगैरह अच्छा ही था उसका. Still he didn't get it, guys. So there are so many factors that come in the picture, and that's very surprising. क्यों उसको कॉल नहीं गया था? Okay, so yeah, so plenty of other questions are coming up, guys. Definitely we are going to have more such sessions, more such interaction. Anything that you would like to mention, Manan, before we wind up this? Any message for all the aspirants, 2021 and 22 aspirants?
Yeah, so one thing was, at a time my dreams get shattered, but I made them again. So if your dreams do shatter, do make them again. Don't lose hope. There are various things to do in life. Even if that things come to recent time, I got rejected by IIM Shillong at first. I thought the things are gone and dream is gone, because CAP results was something which I was not hoping to get into, because IIM Trichy, Ranchi, although are good, but my camp interview, as I told you, I was fearing, and my Shillong interview was one of the best with fear. CAP was not that good with fear. So that all my dreams are gone. But then things got right. I got into IIM Rohtak, which is probably better than all the CAP IIMs. So yeah, things do get better in life. Don't lose hope. You will get somewhere good.
Right, it's better to believe in destiny. Okay, so all those who are watching us live, guys, I'm sure all of you would have enjoyed this session. You would have got so many inputs. Yeah, there are a few questions that I'm unable to answer because of the time constraint, but please don't forget to like this particular session, guys. We are just one like away from 100, so let's complete the century before we wind up. So everyone, yeah, keep liking it and keep sharing it, sharing this session. If you happen to watch this session after it is offline, so please put your comments in the comment section and I'll address it later on. Thanks for being here, and thanks Manan for joining us. Let's have a few more such interaction. We'll plan out few things since you're free right now. So I'll just talk to the learners, and as per their requirement, we'll plan one more session about preparation and how they can excel. Okay, thanks everyone for joining us. Once again, keep learning. And yeah, tomorrow it's Friday, so Friday the schedule will be something like this. 12 p.m. I'm going to conduct that basics of math series, as you know. Then 4 p.m. on Unacademy Learning app LRDI. 6 p.m. once again we are going to have the the Lakshya batch that we have started from today. If you are not aware about Lakshya batch, please join my Telegram group. The link has been provided in the description. You can also go for plus subscription of Unacademy using my code CHAR10, so that you can have much better preparation. And tomorrow night we are also coming up with one more such session with students of TIS Mumbai. So please look forward to that session as well. Thank you, good night, and adios. Bye bye.